let's talk about being a resilient way. You know, I've been called a fucking boss and a pimp and all that, but I've also been called a creep and a cretin and all that shit. So something's got to keep you persevering, regardless of the immediate circumstances. And I say being a resilient PUA is what will allow you to gain the relative mastery of a skill set. When the going gets tough, the tough do what they need to do to get laid. So you need to cultivate the quality known as resilience. What is that exactly? What does it mean to be tough? What does that mean? What I'm talking about here is the ability to modulate and constructively harness the fucking stress response. And that will be absolutely essential to your physical and mental well-being. But by extension, your ability to persevere through the bullshit that you can encounter when developing the shit you need to learn skills and this can be like maybe more than any other. The one quality that'll fucking determine your ability to develop your skills in a proper context. The people who are able to fucking react to these setbacks productively are the ones who will really improve. No matter how many seminars you attend or videos you watch, no matter the number of posts you've done, if you don't have the ability to slog through those periods where you're not getting immediate results, well then you're gonna fail. That's the bottom line. Whether a Gautam sticks at it or gives up in the face of adversity is dependent upon a number of factors. And these can include those that are both genetic and those that are environmental. Now, it's plain that it's not possible to alter one's genes yet. And a lot of other factors are out of your control, like being born into poverty, experiencing some horrible childhood trauma. However, it is quite possible to improve your level of resilience through a number of practical strategies. So, to get right to it, the conventional wisdom says that stress is a bad thing. However, if you think about it, our very existence on this planet is stressful. Okay, because at every moment of every fucking day, you have, the force of gravity keeping you plastered to the fucking floor. So it's our resistance to the stress of gravity that yielded our ability to develop our bones and our muscles. And without this sort of stress, you would quickly become fucking a bitch and weak. Which is why, people on the International Space Station, where the astronauts on the space station work out with exercise equipment that is specially designed, and they work out like 2 hours a day, with the takeaway being that adversity you can master and overcome causes you to grow, baby boy. So a tough guy is someone who avoids stress, but somebody who learns how to tame and master it. Now, there's some good news. Pretty much anybody can increase their resilience with practice. We will discuss strategies that include the ability to regulate emotions, embracing a realistic yet optimistic outlook, physically working out, also progressively accepting more difficult challenges, maintaining a social network that is close, and also imitating role models who are resilient. So number one, emotions. How do you regulate them? Negative emotions are a natural and healthy response to stress. And there's a lot of negative emotions you can pick up in the pickup world because there's a lot of people who hate pickup artists. Now you got to be able to regulate these, because if these are allowed to run rampant and be unchecked, then they can cloud your ability to make good judgments and cause you to be unable to make proper, effective decisions when faced with pressure. Now there's some proper ways to regulate your emotions. One of the best ways is the practice of mindfulness meditation. With some, if you want to go deeper on, you can check out some of my other videos. RSD Jeffy's got some great videos on this stuff. You can get ways to affect your brain in more adaptive manners in response to stress. What you really need to know is that you are trained to consciously live in the present moment via meditations and avoid hand-wringing and stressing out over things that might happen in the future. You will develop a ability to watch but not judge shit. Todd V goes into this a lot. Don't judge shit, just accept objective fact and come up with appropriate responses. Another way to adjust negative emotions is via a technique known as cognitive reappraisal, which has you reinterpret meanings of event to see it as less negative. A lot of times you do that with shit tests. You interpret things in a way that's positive to you and makes it seem like she's fucking throwing herself at you, and then you throw in a disqualifier and say, hey, not so fast, I gotta get to know you better. All right, do another 100 push-ups. Do 3 sets of 45-second leg lifts. I shall be back. Directly. I'll be back very quickly. I'll be back in a matter of seconds. I shan't be gone long. I'm not going to leave you guys hanging. Daddy will be home soon. It's funny how quick these women get tired of your dick. They need fresh dick. Don't fight it. Just accept it. Be her supplier of fresh dick, and you're in like Flynn. You got pretty far away. I never like disowned it. I was just like, life really fucking got in the way, I think is maybe the best way to put it. Life like really started getting in the motherfucking way. Good job on those push-ups. I'm gonna do mine. My lean costs more than your rent. Don't forget that. Don't get it twisted. My lean does cost more than your rent. Oh yeah. Leg lift time, bitches. I'm doing it. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. I did it. I'm leaving. I did it. I did it. I'm leaving. I'm leaving. I'm leaving. I'm leaving. I'm leaving. My lane costs more than your rent. It do. Me and my grandma take meds.
Disgust, etc. So when you're doing this,
you know, my lane costs more than your rent. It do. When you're doing like cognitive reappraisal techniques, you ask yourself questions to bring yourself around a different way of looking at things. But one of those questions might be, you know, for example, on a forum from time to time, you'll see people cringing and whine and saying things like, oh, I meditated too much and now I feel detached and my life is ruined because somebody told me to meditate. Or somebody will be like, oh, a girl called me a mean thing, or some dude amogged me. Blowouts are making it so I can't get out of my mind. It's messing with me, with my self-esteem, and I feel worse off than when I began. I'm not hating on these guys, because back in the day, when first learning stuff, you know, I'd have blowouts too. But ask yourself this question: am I exaggerating the negative impact of an experience? Does that help you to see that, you know, it's really not that bad? you're still in good health. And if some guy calls you a mean name at the bar, is it that fucking bad? Or looking at things with a new set of eyes, becoming detached with the meditation or whatnot, that might not even be that so fucking terrible either. So another question you could ask yourself, is there something that I can learn from this? So, say for example, you come out of the bathroom after you've been talking to a girl for 40 minutes and you see her leaving with some other guy, or she's talking with some other guy. And you just stand there and you sink into this miasma of despair. And you don't go back in, you don't get her back, and she fucks off with you. So by saying, what can I learn from this? Well, maybe next time I could go in and attempt to get her back. Maybe next time, instead of saying some comment to a friend that resulted in a friend blowing up and cock-blocking you hard, you could maybe be a bit more empathetic to the peer group next time, etc., etc., etc. These are just examples, but the point being, asking yourself, what can I learn from an experience, can kind of help you soften the blow of a negative experience itself, because you will know in the future you'll be more equipped to handle that shit. Controlling negative emotions. Now, another way to go about improving your resilience would be to adopt a more optimistic outlook overall. A number of studies have shown that there is a correlation between a positive outlook in health and even longevity. And these health benefits are thought to be a result of the better regulation of the body's stress response. A result from negative emotions can be the flooding of your body with cortisol or adrenaline. And this stuff can have the effect of increasing the fight or flight response and physiological arousal, and restricting your behaviors and narrowing your attention to those only necessary to survival. On the other hand, positive emotions generally reduce arousal and open up your mind to have more creative and flexible responses to stress. A classic example would be R.S.G. Alexander. If you look at his natural instincts method and philosophy, that stuff is basically filled with ideas of relaxation. You know, like the club is a temple of relaxation for a guy like Alexander. He goes to the club and he induces a relaxation response. Another thing that I'll have is the 2-hour rule. The 2-hour rule is basically that for the first 2 hours of the night, when you go to a club, you can treat it as though it doesn't count at all. Like the first 2 hours do not count at all. The idea behind that is that all those stranger things have happened. Generally, you won't meet a girl within the first 2 hours of the night and fuck her. I don't always like that attitude, but a lot of times when you take that attitude, you wind up fucking a girl within the first 2 hours of the night. Obviously, I've had pulls at like 10, 15, but generally you're not going to pull at the first 2 hours of the night. So to have that attitude in the first 2 hours that don't count, this can allow you to relax into the night. You can go into the club, and it'll be like, so there'll be no outcome dependence whatsoever, because you're not expecting anything to happen, and it can really take that burden off your shoulders. So for the first 2 hours, you just get to relax into the night. And it generates a response that is relaxing. Now, if you go out winging with Alex, or you watch his infield videos, you will see that he is an extremely creative person. Some of the stuff that comes out of his mouth is absolutely hilarious and obviously right off the cuff. And it's because he has found a way to unstifle himself and let his mind flow freely and have that relaxation response that will allow him to be more creative and flexible in the field. So, this is how optimism and having a generally more positive outlook can have a very tangible effect on your game in field. We will look at the opposite. You'll see students who are loaded with cortisol, stress balls, and getting blown out after blowout. One thing to remember is that you need to temper that optimism with a healthy dose of reality pills. You know, don't just throw on rose-colored glasses and just ignore negative feedback and blithely think everything's perfect. Rather, you should examine your bad sets, make note of the mental issues that caused you problems in the field, and look for ways to avoid those in the future. It's the cat who's willing to put himself on the firing line and look at his faults that'll allow you to actually get good at this shit. If you're just going out and banging your head against the wall in some misguided blind faith attempt, thinking, oh, if I simply play the numbers game and accrue enough approaches, I'll get good no matter what. If that's how you're thinking wrong, practice long, practice wrong. You're going to be in that pickup shithole for a long time. Okay, so the takeaway is train yourself to interpret ambiguous situations in a more positive manner, and at the same time be honest with yourself about where you're screwing up and take pains to address such areas. Now, a third point here. Working out and hitting the gym and going to yoga can make you a tougher and more resilient cat. A lot of times people will see that most of the instructors out there are pretty fit, but you'll see guys like Luke and later day Tyler and shit like that, the guys who don't necessarily. And so a lot of guys will see fit instructors and they'll think, oh, we recommend working out solely for the improvement, that the physical improvements will help you with your game. There's actually much more there's much more important ancillary benefits that come to working out. It can help you improve your resilience and your mind state, things way beyond being able to look good naked. The benefits of working out go a lot further than just looking good naked. It has more to do with the energy that you bring to interactions, and having that vitality just kind of adds to your vibe. Remember, they're going to feel whatever you feel, so being fit and managing to exert a positive energy and not smoking cigarettes and all that shit, and not getting stoned out your mind. Over the years, I'll notice the guys at boot camps who are more fit tend to do better, not because of appearances, but they're better able to fucking weather the trial and tribulations and the storm of going out night after night. It keeps them going. That working out protects you against the negative effects of stress. Exercise boosts neurotransmitters like dopamine and serotonin that can reduce depression and elevate your overall mood. It can also improve tension, planning, flexibility, especially if you're doing yoga, memory, equanimity, all the things that can help and be able to effectively manage stress. Working out can also help stimulate the growth of proteins that can help repair neurons and yield other tons of tangible benefits. Now, a related but fairly tangential thing is that for many years, you might flail around in the gym with the hypothesis, more is better, and you flail around and not really fucking have an intention. All right, do 100 push-ups, 3 sets of leg lifts. You'll get beginner gains for a while with that approach, but then you'll level off. And you'll have to start getting more intentional with your gym time. Can't give head. Good job on those push-ups. Alright, one sec. I'll be right back. Good job. Do those leg lifts again. Do some more. Shit looks low to me, bro. Ah, shit, you guys were good. Fucking, you guys were good doing those push-ups and leg lifts. Good job. You ain't gonna get that shit. Fuck. Ooh, fuck. What's the time? Smoking perp and sipping drink. Oh, fuck. Alright, good job on the leg lifts.
Good fucking job.